At first I was planning on watching The Wind Rises. Then I randomly changed to Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind. But the audio wasn't syncing with the video. And when I skipped ahead I saw, oh, later in the movie it will sync perfectly, but I just didn't feel like I could invest in that story. Even though it was only like a 1 or 2 or 3 second delay in the sound, it just felt like I didn't really want to watch it. So that was a big turn off. Then I randomly switched to watch Your Name. And holy cannoli, that was one of the best and most unexpected movies I've ever watched. The thing that makes it even more special is that I didn't even plan to watch it at that day. That's why it feels so special and out of this world also. I've heard about this movie here and there, and I keep confusing it with another one called Yola in April. Because my friend wrote a song inspired by Yola in April, and I thought it was Your Name. But then I realized a few days later, like, oh, Kimi no Nawa is this movie in Japanese. And then I was like, hey, did my friend write a song about that also? Because I swear I saw her mention Kimi no Nawa before. Then I wasn't crazy. Just today I found out, oh, my friend wrote a song inspired by Yola in April and another one inspired by Kimi no Nawa, which is Your Name. So she wrote songs based on 2 movies. That's very cool. Yeah, they both kinda sound the same. Your Name, Yola in April, you're this, you're that. So before I watched this movie, I just randomly saw the trailer. Something about switching bodies, I guess. I didn't know what to expect. At the beginning of the movie, the intro song is just so good and the animation is just so visually stunning and it looks so modern. When I first saw that, I was like, there's no way this is hand-drawn in a time like 2016. Then I saw someone review this movie and he said it was hand-drawn cell animation and I was like, holy moly. It seems too good to be true, but you know, Japan, I'm sure they'll do something crazy like that. So of course the animation deserves every ounce of respect. It's so good that you cannot even believe if people hand-drawn it, you know? So there's a lot of visual flexing, but who cares? It's so beautiful. At first, it already showed them switching bodies without telling us, so it was very confusing at first. If I didn't see that trailer, then I'll be even more confused, you know? So at least I had a little knowledge of this movie before coming in. But the thing that drew me to this movie out of nowhere is just Your Name. Like, what does that mean, you know? People say it's iconic and then people mention it before and the title is so vague, Your Name, I didn't get it, you know? Then all of these things intrigue me to go watch it. And they did something smart by showing the later part of the movie at the very start. So when the actual part comes around and it actually happens, it hits so much deeper. It's like watching a YouTube video and they show you the hook of the video first. When the body switching happens, it's a Freaky Friday scenario which is very fun and entertaining too. Then the song kicks in again as a time lapse and it was great. Then I'm like, okay, this song sounds familiar with the piano part. Oh yeah, people mentioned it before. And when it starts getting deep and the meat of the story starts unfolding, it just keeps getting better and better. And as I was watching this movie, I was like, wow. It really made me think like, wow, and this movie is so great. Even when there was like still 1 hour left. It's like I didn't expect the story to turn out like this and then it just blew all of my expectations away. But towards the end, it was kind of getting confusing. Like, who's in whose body again? Or are they in their own bodies? Is it happening now in the past, present, or future? I don't know. But regardless of that confusion, this seemingly normal movie is slowly becoming more and more epic. I didn't cry, but I did feel something and I felt a lot of things. This movie has drama, action, sadness, romance, and it feels so normal and usual, but it's so out of this world. It's creative, interesting, and there's so much things happening and it's so really such a smart movie. The time went by very fast. All the way through, it was entertaining. And you just don't know where will the story go. They make good use of the suspense with the sudden cuts in scenes and in the music. And the overall music is also all very good. Like I said, towards the ending, it was getting too confusing. But luckily at the end, we know what happened. But it feels like just another cliffhanger. They just stopped at that line and it didn't show their future. But that's what they do to keep us all guessing. I feel so invested in the characters, I want to know more. I want the movie to confirm they did have a happy ending in the future. I thought the whole movie was gonna be a Freaky Friday thing and the ending is that they know about the other people's scenarios better and appreciate where they are. You know, the typical cookie cutter happy ending. But this movie is literally on a whole other level. It's like the Freaky Friday thing is just to hook you in to make you laugh and then when it really happens, the real story happens, it's like wow. The conflict, emotion, story, everything about this movie is so realistic. It absolutely blew my mind away and is very inspiring. I would 10 out of 10 watch it again. It has such a great storytelling and plot. Everything about this is so magnificent. One of the best movies I've ever watched. While I was watching, there were a lot of goosebumps and a lot of feelings at once, but let me say I didn't cry. I just never watched a movie like this before. It really pulls on all of your heartstrings. And I didn't expect it to be so complicated, you know? After watching the movie, that night I was seeing the videos people made about this movie. It answered a lot of questions I was having, like, other than living in other bodies, did they also like freaking time travel and go to different dimensions and timelines? Yup. It just makes you want to learn more about this movie, and then what you think you know about it, oh, there's like a million other things that you don't know of. Because as a first time watcher, it was really confusing, you know? It's like one of those things you have to watch it a second time, then you'll understand even more. That's what makes it so smart. It's not like, oh, cookie cutter, oh, it's just like this. There's like so many other things beneath it. Plus, the only thing that was weird is like they randomly started to fall in love with each other. Cause in the whole movie, they personally didn't go through any romance together. Maybe because of the switching that they were more internally connected to each other, but the whole love thing felt random and out of nowhere. But despite that, like I said, you watch all the videos where people analyze this movie and explain it, and it will make so much sense. I watched this on April 12th, and now it's April 15, and I still feel like emotionally scarred and invested in this movie. I have that gut feeling like I have to watch this movie again. It's so good. I keep wanting to replay the scenes. Maybe if I stop and then like watch it like 7 years later again, then it will hit hard again, I can tell you. Because at this point, it was released in 2016, now it's 2024, that's been 8 years already. But this movie, it feels like I found a gem, I found something that really inspires me. And it really deeply affected me in a good and bad way. It's like so many emotions. And I'm such a huge fan of this movie. So this one, Kimi no Na wa Your Name, I can't get over this movie. I can't get over all of those songs. It's so great. This one really touched my heart. It really opened my eyes, and it's such a great movie. This one is a masterpiece. 10 out of 10.